The invasion of Japan is going very well for our armored forces that continue to push westward against the Japanese and American defenders. Very soon, the entire island will fall and will be communist within a year. Hello again, friends and fans. Raptor here, and welcome back to Wargame Red Dragon. Climb Mount Noranaya is the name of the campaign. We're going to get kicked off here with a first battle, a naval battle of the Soviet Task Force Minsk versus the ROKN Eastern Fleet, and of course then our battle at EU as we push westward. If you want to see more of this content, go ahead and let your voice be heard. Hit that like button and let me know you want to see more Wargame Red Dragon on the channel, strategy games in general, and feel free to suggest some other strategy games down below in the comments section. Hello to all of you, and good to have you here. We're going to get started with our naval battle and then go to the battle at EU, where we're about to see quite a few helicopters on both sides flying high, and the casualties will likely be high for the Japanese, as we'll probably be able to defeat them and push across Naval Sector Quebec here, as we have a line to Oita, and also then finally from Yamaguchi down to our first port of the main island, which will give us a great jumping off point towards Nagasaki. Well, without further ado, let's get started at Naval Sector Kilo. The South Koreans seem to continue to run from us. The Republic of Korea Naval Eastern Fleet continues to yep, and there they go yet again. They're continuing to flee from us at each attack, so we're going to continue to pursue them with our aircraft carrier. It looks like the Southern Fleet is waiting here as well, and what we'll likely do is make our way all the way around the Japanese islands here to meet up with Task Force Kutsunov, and that should allow us to link up to have an even more powerful force. Probably stupid if we were trying to fight off submarines, but in this case we only need to watch out for the USS Enterprise, an American aircraft carrier that soon should be here. We'll fight our Naval Sector Juliet battle then in the next round. For now, let's kick it off with some helicopter battles as we see the, let's see, 2 independent naval regiments, 3 actually, and 319th Helicopter Regiment and the 9th Guards fight off essentially just some helicopters and light infantry. It looks like just 30, but we do have tanks with us, T-55s, which should do a pretty good job against smashing through all of those light transports. Never mind, the enemy yet again flees. Interesting, I can't get a battle in here. Come on, Japan. Alright, well, then we are clear to fight across the Naval Sector Quebec. Looks like, actually, there's a lot of enemy forces there, so we might want to invest in some bombers here. Ooh, actually, unfortunately, it doesn't look like we'll be able to support our landing there with any sort of aircraft, as I believe our forces here have been reassigned, so they wouldn't be able to reach that point at the moment. Interesting. Well, we have a lot more force to fight off here, but the invasion is inevitable. There's really nothing that, or any reason why we shouldn't push across there. So let's go ahead and get our forces right across the canal or the channel here. And actually, oh, you know what? Actually, we have to wait. What? We have to wait one more turn since we moved into that position. Maybe the enemy is thinking twice about duking it out with us. We'll go ahead and just retreat from that section. That should be fine. Not too big of a deal. We'll go ahead and avoid battle and just go right back to where we started. Okay, fantastic. So we won both battles. Very confusing to me, as I was assuming we were going to have 2 battles right off the start. But let's go ahead and end our turn then. The Japanese may attempt to push across. Let's see if we can push down. Looks like, oh, actually we do have forces that can push down into. Oh, actually, it's just one force there. Actually, is it just the anti-aircraft? What can push down here? The recon. If the anti-aircraft can come down too, I'm more willing to do that. Nope, it looks like just the artillery and the helicopters. All right, well, we'll end our turn again in order to get more movement points. And it looks like the Japanese are trying to fight us. Oh, interesting. Nankoku is where the enemy is going to try to strike here again. And shouldn't we have our naval... because they're having a helicopter attack? That's interesting. Our naval force is landed right here, so we should have the support of our aircraft. But I guess we only have the support of a few Strelas. That's interesting. We need to refit these units, which would be worth 4 points. And I don't think we even had enough to start that. So, an interesting move by the enemy. We can bring in some forces to support against that, I think. Let's go ahead and see if we can bring our bombers in. Oh, looks like we just got to fight them as is. Alright, let's go ahead and launch this battle. Should be a quick one, as the Japanese are only going to be attacking from Dimitri and Naval Sector Quebec. So let's go ahead and get started then. We have nothing but, oh boy, we have some Strela with us. This was, of course, was our previous battle where we took some really heavy damage. I guess it's kind of biting us in the butt now, but we'll be able to shoot down and eliminate most of these forces here. Alright, Japanese infantry should fall quickly, and most of it will be in helicopters, and if not, they'll die soon. Very disappointing that we don't get our naval forces. That's interesting why, you know, with a carrier right off the coast, we're not getting any sort of reinforcement at all, which is very unusual. Well, we should be able to win this one in no time. We do need to get to, we need to kill about 566 points worth of helicopters on the enemy's team. And it looks like we've got our first coming up, an American Cobra, or a Ninja in this case. Beautiful. Our force is firing a hell of a lot of helicopter boomers, dealies. I think those are called missiles. Oh, how do you get stuck in the mud? You're on the road. Anyway, UH-1s are spotted now. Beautiful. Enemy FOB should be nearby. Enemy command should be nearby too. Oh wow, enemy command eliminated? That was an enemy command there. Total victory. 3rd Airborne Battalion eliminated. Boy, alright, wow. I'm blown away for that one. The 3rd Guards Tank Division is under your command. You can deploy it in a harbor or at Osaka. The American fleet, supported by the South Korean ships, were sighted in the southwest. According to our intelligence, the enemy is banking on a first wave of helicopter-borne troops followed by land forces. They count on mobility of helicopters to outflank. We must reinforce and crush. I agree, Putin. At the second stage, I foresee a landing in Nankoku. Perhaps we can make the most of it. The fleet escorting Kuznetsov could intercept them before they reach the coast. And do remember their own objective is the same as ours, to hold and take over airports. Well, that is correct. Okay, we have a boost now of forces on our side. Boy, finally. All right, we see a huge arrival of American forces here, and we need to continue to pursue. So it seems like, oh, we actually now are going to have our naval battle. Are they going to bail again? This has been such an interesting turn. I've barely even been able to fight a battle. And yet again, the enemy flees. All right, they can't continue to do this forever. I think we'll be able to defeat them finally both at Naval Sector Lima, which will be 5 additional points, and then we can circle around to destroy the entire American Navy here, and possibly South Korean forces, but I doubt they have those. All right, we have finally some breathing room. Oh, this is going to be perfect. They have nothing here aside from, oh, wait a minute, what are these? 60, oh, light tanks. Wow, all right. The best we have is 24 T-55s. All right, we're going to need some sort of an armored force here. Well, let's push across. We'll get the MiGs to support that landing. And we'll finally be able to refit our forces. Anything that's been destroyed will be able to provide support. I wonder if we should bring the choppers over for this one. 32 here. Looks like we actually have more tanks here as the Soviets. We have 5 and whatnot and 24. Maybe we should bring the helicopter over here to support these folks. And we'll go ahead and push to the north. And actually what we can do is I know the Kuznetsov does have additional helicopter forces remaining. So we could actually call on the Spetsnaz units here. And let's see. They are armed in Mi-24Ds, so that actually might be good. Plus, we do have some ground forces here of American 52nd Infantry, which have Delta Force with them. Boy. All right. Well, let's push across the channel here, or whatnot. And we're crashing through the gates now. We've got plenty of tanks at our disposal. This is fantastic. All right. Wow. The enemy's really just been routing here so far. Let's see. We have one enemy tank force here. And we actually have an enemy aircraft here. I don't think we have any ability to call out anti-aircraft at the moment. I think we actually need to control these ports in order to land some of these forces too. So let's just continue to look at our map here. I think if the enemy's going to drop their airborne forces here, we should at least leave the frontline airfields defended. And it probably would be wise for us to refit some of these units as soon as possible. The American helicopters could come around, but let's go ahead and save off on that. Let's go ahead and see what else we have for forces now. Again, they did make mention of the 3rd Guards Division. Wow, 40 points for that. Can we land any of these here? I think we need to hold these first. Yes, we must be holding the harbor in order to use that. So, I guess it's on to the bombers. VVS IL-102s are huge, heavy bombers. Additionally, we could call on the fighters, though, at 65 points each. That's kind of spendy for air superiority. And I doubt the enemy... It's better just to have anti-aircraft on the ground, because it's unlikely the enemy usually doesn't call those out. But having the bombers would be useful as well. What do we have for anti-aircraft, by the way? Let's see. I don't think we'll be able to fight a naval battle here. We actually do have beer uses, but not great numbers. Let's take a look at the battle. Actually, if we take a look at the battle, it should help us to determine that. It'll add everything up for us. We have 16 Flakstroms and beer uses. Very mountainous terrain here as well, so good for helicopters to ambush. And aircraft too. The They have their own anti-aircraft, so we might have to just make do with what we've got. And what do we have for tanks here? Oh, T-55. Okay, this is actually winnable with what we've got, so we won't have to go down that route. So let's go ahead and cancel on that one. And then as for the Kashu, whatever it is exactly. Oh, we actually have to hold Alpha against the first, oh boy, Central Tank Division. That is going to be an incredible defense. They're going to come at us with so many tanks, it's going to be ridiculous. Ridiculous indeed. All right, we might want to lend them an extra hand with helicopters because that's a huge number that we'll have to deal with. We might want to just deal with everything they've got with our typical helicopter battles that have been winning us victories left and right. So let's go ahead and do that then. We'll call out the, under the, I believe it's under Naval Forces. Yeah, the Kuznetsov Air Brigade, the DSHV Regiment. We'll go ahead and get them in there. And actually, do we have the ability to call out more helicopters? What did that force have? Look like the recon company. They actually have some good recon with them as well. But does this? VDV. Oh, we actually get some ground. Oh, oh. No, those are ground troops that are recon. Well, that's okay. We do have recon in this group in the north, so we'll be okay. And we're going to set up a defense here primarily. I'm being very picky about what we're buying here today because we need to make sure we win these ports in the next few turns. Otherwise, we're going to see the USS Enterprise. So let's go to, let's see, we'll save the rest of our points for refitting if needed or calling in additional units at the port. So if everything goes according to plan, if we win it out, that actually won't happen until the next turn. So we should be gaining 5, 10, 20, 35, 38 points per turn, given what I see so far. Maybe I missed something, but around 30 points per turn. So we should be up to 40, which can call in heavy tanks. So anything else the Americans have on the field will basically be brushed aside. And some of the best Japanese tanks have been eliminated at the very start, so we should be okay. All right, let's fight this battle in the north. Finally. I apologize for all the delays. As the enemy continues to retreat, God, our forces we're just too bolstered now. All right, well, they won't fight us there. Their forces are way too outnumbered. So now we push them aside, and we can capture Karatsu. Actually, before we do that, I didn't even think to check with the Minsk. Can we call in anything else? Supply company and an anti-tank battalion, which that doesn't really have much. That doesn't tickle my funny bone too much. So let's go to Oida. Will we have a battle this time around? Geez, I apologize for the enemy's retreats. I didn't imagine that they would be so hesitant to come on over here. Let's see if we can lend any chopper support here. No. Can the MiG come over? I think it might be able to. Oh, the MiG can't move one more turn. You can't come over here? Wonder why that is. There's a, I guess the MiG, yeah, there's some sort of invisible wall here. The MiG is not able to engage there. Forget it. Let's just do it the old-fashioned way. We'll launch the battle and we'll just finally have ourselves a ground war or something. I was really looking forward to those helicopters. Okay, our morale is very similar to the enemy's. I think we're going to have to be holding here in a defensive stance because we have so many choppers against us. And very horrible terrain to fight them. Well, let's get some recon out as soon as possible. BRDMs will be good for that. We'll keep our, I think we might need to keep our FOB this time around. Let's go ahead and put that in the back. BMP-2 as well. Not a lot of places to hide here. Not great. Let's take a look at what we've got. Alright, so our tank forces, but that needs to be escorted by Strela. With Strelas, we're going to need a ton of, we're going to need an absolute ton of supply for those rearmament of the missiles. Okay, these are fine. Okay, VDV. Oh, do we have choppers at all? Nothing. Nothing for choppers. Okay, but we do have anti-aircraft shoulder launch. Oh, these are great. VDV 90. Plus, they've got some very nice transports that have anti-aircraft on board as well. That's great. Let's go with 4 of those. We're going to try to capture on the right flank. And these tanks might be nice. The AMs. And we'll go for a BMP and try to capture on the right. And let's get some more recon up just to be sure. I do like the BRDMs. They seem to be a better choice for recon. Okay, without further ado, let's begin. Any extra supplies will go towards rearming the Strela if and when they run out of ammunition, or the Biryusa. There could be a lot of choppers, so we'll have to be on the lookout. Alright, we're going to go over here to Kumamoto. And let's go ahead and deploy. So we do have the ability to call in reinforcement. No aircraft. Not much in terms of vehicles. Anti-tank. Really, a lot of that anti-tank stuff is only going to be used for later in the battle, or rather the overall campaign, when we see more heavy American tanks or heavy armor in general. But we're just not seeing any of that stuff. And the enemy has bailed from Kumamoto, which is, well, no, there they are again. Okay, well, we're even in the morale department. Guess I'm gonna keep one recon here, and we're gonna try to swoop around that way and see if we can watch our flank to make sure enemy choppers don't come in. The enemy possibly could call in infantry to hit us at this location, so let's not be too dumb, and let's actually fill in some of these. Oh, okay, yep. Forces are still moving. Oh, and here comes some Humvees. All right, let's spread out, wait for those tanks to come. Okay. All right, Flakstrom, wait. Tanks, come on up. Nanashikis. Okay, those just are transports. Let's get some more tanks up. We need more guns on the field. Okay, Strelas fall back. Infantry fall back. BMP fall back. Tanks up to the front. And let's get some more tanks up here. Oh, we still need more points for those. I can't believe we're winning this whole thing with T-55s. Alright, T-55s times 4. 6. Oh, enemies dropping off infantry, okay. I'm going to have to play this cautiously because I don't want their choppers to hit us somewhere along the route. Well, let's keep pumping out the tanks. We're actually getting some really good income here. We're getting an incredible amount of income. Oh, damn. Always killed first. Damn recon. That was an in-stack one and done, too. That missile flew far, far, far. Luckily, after we capture these naval sections, though, we can rearm. Yeah, those BRDMs are so quick, they get right into the enemy's back door. Alright, let's stun the hell out of those forces. And, I want to send in our own Marines here, or our VDV. But I'm just going to keep them in the back. Those forces there are very good. I know they haven't killed anything, but they are causing damage. Okay, T-55s are making their way up. An Avenger coming through. It's an anti-helicopter Humvee. Essentially, it just has infrared missiles locked onto the back of it. Wow, look at how far... What is the range of those things? Incredible. That one didn't even hit. It just gave him the kill. Second time in a row. What, third time's a charm? Okay. Alright, I've had enough of that crap. Wow, how are they still hitting us? Incredible. Alright, let's get the infantry up here. Alright, I've had enough of that. We're going to clear out these enemy units now. We need the Urals up here to deal with any damaged vehicle. Some tanks destroyed, nothing end of the world like. There we go. Alright, we'll have these forces rearm. Let's go ahead and send in the infantry. And recon will look for the enemy there. Actually, we don't really need infantry here. We don't need recon for their infantry. We already know they're there, and we know what building they're in too. Actually, they're out in the open now. Fantastic. Alright, we've been delayed enough. We're going to capture that village there. And then we're going to move up to Kumamoto. Alright, Ural trucks are almost out of ammunition. Okay, let's have them come back to the fob. Enemy forces spotted from the north. These are actually tanks for once. Okay, VDV are going to clear. We'll get the tanks back up to the north. Rocket launchers trying to hit us. East Germans are with us today. It's static on the trucks. Awfully annoying. Alright, anti-aircraft are firing like crazy now. We'll continue to hit those units. As usual, though, the Japanese are attacking in their traditional style of large force like that. We need to get rid of that artillery. And, oh yeah, perfect. Now we've got our VDV inside of the, inside this facility here, this village. I see something shooting across the water. They somehow got an Instack one and done on our supply trucks, which is very, typical with that. No enemy helicopters, though. Oh, Delta Force. Those guys are armed to the teeth with grenade launchers. Alright, they're going to start picking off transports. I'm not too concerned about the VDV here. Alright, let's surround those Delta Force. We'll try to cut through them. Oh, they actually have Carl Gustavs instead. There we go. They're going to cause a mess. Alright, let's get our T-55s up here. The enemy didn't want us to cross the bridge. Anytime we try to cross the bridge, we always get counterattacked before we get a chance. We never get to attack. Actually, that's not true. We've always been on the attack most of the time. Okay, we have more enemy tanks approaching. Let's go ahead and bring the rest of our tanks down. We'll leave these T-55s here to block. It seems like we're going to get attacked again. And we'll spread our anti-aircraft out. Alright, tanks are coming in for support. Transports are still getting hit. I'm still okay with that. We've just got so many big numbers of enemy units, it's hard to cut through it all. It's really like cutting through a block of cheese with a machete. You're just going to need to take a couple swipes. Yeah, you can go ahead and quote me on that. That's fine. Alright, let's see what else we've got. TO-55s would be useful, I guess, for cleaning a few places, but not really effective. Let's get up some better recon now to push in a little deeper. Tanks are pretty much out of the way. Enemy tanks are still getting spotted and popped. Alright, we just need to hold here for a moment. Boy, the enemy's just really blocked all the routes of attack here. Right, let's go ahead and push up to this bridge. And we'll bring the F.A.Q units with. We'll go ahead and make our way across the bridge too and have the BRDM sit nearby. Alright, Recon's doing a good job of identifying, but doing what Recon does best. It's always the first thing the enemy targets, even if there was a command. I believe they target the Recon first, and Recon is going along swimmingly. Wonderful. Alright, we're going to cut both sides of Kumamoto off. Our movements were delayed for about 10 minutes there from the enemy's persistent attacks. But at least the Urals were able to resupply the infantry. And we'll keep anti-aircraft units defending. And a little recon unit there. Okay, very good. Our forces are moving across the bridge. It should be a little slow. Hopefully they got fueled up when they were able to. We'll bring Urals again for resupply. No, you stay up there. Alright, there we go. Let's get that recon up into cover. Alright, finally a huge Japanese force. Something that we can actually deal with. Huge in terms of lots of normal units, rather than spammy ones. We're still hitting that. We're pushing those tanks back. T-85s get right across there right away. T-55, come on across. We'll hold the town with VDV. I think they outrange us. That's why we're getting hit here. Alright, we need to get that command. Well, let's have the BMP come over here. Enemy hasn't tried to counterattack, so hopefully at this point we can just steamroll into certain positions. So let's go ahead and get ready to send Marines up in the center. We'll hold here with the tanks. We've lost a couple of tanks now. Let's get a T-55 back up here. We're at the point now where vehicles have to travel so far across the map that it might not be worth bringing them up, because they won't change much for the battle. Did we lose our BRDM here? Yeah, typically. Enemy artillery. All that for a recon unit that they might be able to kill. There we go. Those Japanese recoilless rifles are deadly. Alright, time to find a command. Or whatever happens to come our way. Alright, V-150s are coming our way. 90 millimeters. Of course, you're hearing German voices there. The East Germans are with us with their anti-aircraft units. And the command has fled from Kumamoto. Oh, enemy forces did a great job of getting to the river. Congratulations. You have succeeded. Our forces here are running real low on ammunition. Well, we've got the Japanese to come out of their hiding place, but I guess we'll come up this direction to cut them off. Okay, T-55 and remaining BMPs are here. Enemy is still running anti-aircraft cover. Alright, we're going to get the Marines up the road to deploy. We still have enemy units everywhere. Alright, let's stop there. We need to get those units resupplied. There's no way we can resupply all of those units. There's way too many, and they're too far out, man. Alright, so we have the ability now to... actually, BMP 1K. Oh, good. Yeah, do it. Let's see if you can hit. Oh, are you kidding me? The enemy's going to get the Ural trucks because they have a Avenger there? guess I kind of forgot about that they can do that. We'll turn our forces back shortly. It's not a big deal. Alright, let's get up in there. We'll get some of those supply trucks back. The enemy will probably send them back at us. Mostly, I just want to kill commands here. I don't want to fight on the ground anymore in these tug-of-war type deals. Don't think the enemy should be able to fire through a hill there. It looks like they're just firing from the side. Well, if that's the case, T-55 should be able to come up. Oh, they have way too many of those V-150 90 millimeters. Oh, there we go. There's the enemy force fleeing. Let's get up the road ahead of them. We should have our supply back now. We'll capture that last one shortly. Well, the Marines have been wiped out by a cavalcade of 90 millimeters that have just seemingly come out of nowhere. I thought we destroyed all those. And I was bringing in the infantry since I assumed they would be safe heading towards the mountain and then hiding up inside the cover there, but apparently not. The enemy's fleeing with some of their rocket artillery now. A lot of this stuff's on the run. Gun tanks over there as well. An interesting battle. We kind of got a little bit of a bloody nose from lots of weird losses due to like 90 millimeters and stuff. I've never thought the enemy would call out before like that. But we do have enemy cargo trucks captured, so let's go and resupply with those. Alright, we captured an American supply truck. Nice. Good. Excellent. We have some enemy forces towards our cause now. The Japanese have been retreating so much in our previous playthroughs, previous choices, that I guess it was inevitable we would have to fight them, or they would have to fight us. More importantly. Alright, let's get those vehicles rearmed. Okay, we got about 2 minutes left and a lot of enemy supply captured. We've been delayed with the infantry now in the capture of center. Oh, and here comes some artillery. Highly inaccurate. Alright, well, if anything, let's at least capture this position. Enemy's got our Euro truck driving around again. I don't know what the hell they're thinking. Alright, hopefully we don't see any more of those damn V-150s or whatever. They killed about 120 men. It's really unfortunate. I kept them far back because I didn't want the infantry to be spotted from our main force. The enemy has Boris, too. Minute and something seconds. Let's go ahead and load up the BMPs and go up in there. Come on, boys. Get into the vehicle. Taking far too long. Oh, that took way too long. Almost not worth reloading those troops. Ah, they've been holding long enough for their forces to flee. Damn. Well, they pretty much got me by blocking us at that bridge on the left flank. Our tanks are still engaging whatever happens to be out there. They've got so much! I forget that. Now 76 millimeters are coming in. They're going to fire on their own supply units. I don't really need those. There goes the command. You can see how many points of retreat the enemy has. 20 seconds, we're going for the command. Romulan cloak engaged. We're targeting those. Target the damn command. There we go. Alright, well, we chased them all the way back to their HQ. I don't know where their forces went at Boris, but they must have retreated as well. A draw. But I would say absolute victory here as we've cleared out the Western Tank Regiment, 42nd Infantry Regiment, and they've only got really the 52nd to fight with, which is essentially Stingers. This is all they've got left is some Stingers and land forces, so that, yeah, those forces are not going to be much of a threat anymore. Fantastic. Whew, finally. Alright, so we have our successful landing here. It'll have to be, in fact, in our next turn, they'll probably bail from there, so we actually have, more than likely, both sectors secured. Alright, well, not too bad of a battle, considering we had to really stay mobile there and constantly keep the enemy on their toes. The good thing is we can R&R here, we can refit our units before we move down to Kanoya. And then here we still need 2 more moves before we get to Nagasaki. So these forces can be fully replenished, and we can bring down our air force before we attack on this last airfield here, and then bring all of our air force together on Nagasaki, and that should be it. I'm expecting to have this completed by maybe turn 8. We will see, depending on enemy counterattacks, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye, everyone.